I do love a cup of tea. And you know what goes well with tea? Drama. Cue the drama. Hello there, it's James from J Cully 3D CGI Props and Cosplay, and it's fantastic to have you back. This is episode 4, and this week we're building a Star Wars custom Rebel communication station. Basically, I wanted a nice practical prop I could put on my prop bench that would both charge my mobile phone wirelessly and also give me somewhere to stand my tablet so that I can use it as a reference tool whilst I'm building my models. In the future, I've got lots more props planned, but I'd love to hear your ideas, so why don't drop those down in the comments below. I'm turning my garage into a Rebel base, and along the way building cool Star Wars props to fill it with. If you're a Star Wars fan and like building props, this is the place to be. Okay guys, let's check out the build video. So you can see here from this 3D Max exploded view, these are all of the different elements that will go together to make the final prop. Doing this short animation helps me understand how my model goes together. Even though I designed it, it's still nice to see the 3D animation which shows you where the particular pieces fit in the final build. Now for my tablet, I wanted to be able to just slide the tablet into a stand from the top. I just left a space in between the 3 layers for the tablet to just slide on in there. Although this is a completely custom build, I do borrow from Star Wars shapes as seen in the galaxy far, far away. For example, the droid socket. Now of course this isn't really functional as a droid socket on this build since it's horizontal, but that's because it's for flying droids, right? I basically made these shapes in 3D Max and then cut these out on the laser cutter, ready to be layered up. I got myself a cheap wireless mobile phone charger from Amazon. I took it to bits and took out the components. This wireless charging component is thin enough for me to be able to hide it inside the build. With the wireless charging coil hidden nicely in the model, it allows me to just place my mobile phone right on that droid interface and it picks it up and charges perfectly. It's also circular, which is perfect because it fits with the droid interface nicely. Recently I picked up a cheap desktop laser cutter. Now this is not a hugely powerful device, but it's certainly powerful enough to cut through 5mm and 10mm EVA foam with a couple of passes. You don't have to use a laser cutter to build this prop. You can do it with a craft knife. You just have to take your time and watch those corners. Once you've finished being mesmerised by the laser cutter, it's time to pop out those shapes. And this is my favourite part because I love working with foam. Once all the pieces are ready, you simply apply contact cement, and I use this Fix, which is a non-drip contact cement from Tyges Supplies, and there's a link for this product in the description below. It's important not to apply too much glue, but you do need to cover both surfaces that you want to attach to each other. With all contact cement, you have to allow time for drying. Once it's dried to a tack, it's ready to push together. And if you do this bit carefully, with some accuracy, you save yourself so much time later, because if you get the joints right at this stage, you won't need to go back with any filler or sanding later on in your build. I use a female USB to 2 micro USB splitters. I cut the end off of one of them and join this to an LED light, giving 5 volts to an auto flashing LED that's situated at the front of the communications device. The other end of the splitter goes directly into the wireless charger, which just so happened to have a micro USB built into it. Now I needed to fit all of the electronics into a 5mm deep space. I was able to cut away the casings that surrounded the USB sockets and plugs so that they fitted in that area. I want to take a minute to thank my sponsor Tyges Supplies. You can find the link down in my description, and these guys are amazing. They provide me with all of my foam and paints so that I can build these awesome props. I've shown you in a previous video that you can use a metallic silver Sharpie to add scratched metal details to the edges of your prop. However, this week I'm going to use toothpaste as a masking agent. Essentially, you dab the toothpaste onto the areas that you want to later apply the chipping effect to. Once you've sprayed your final coat of paint on there, wait for it to dry, you can then rub away the toothpaste and it shows the layer beneath through nicely, giving you that metal scratched effect. Because this paint dries with a natural tack, I also use some of Tyges Supplies metal pigment powder. I simply rubbed it into the areas that I wanted to grime up, and it also gave it a metallic look. As always, I applied a black wash, watered down acrylic paint to the prop, making sure I got plenty of paint into the crevices and wiped away the excess. That's what gives it the detail and also provides that in-universe look. Of course, no Star Wars prop would be complete without Greebles, and there's a few interesting ones on this build. I use one of those lenses that you can clip to the back of your smartphone. I broke down a VHS cassette recorder a few weeks back, and I used a small cog, a metal washer and a metal dish, and I used the metal contact from the back of a laptop. Let's talk about these traditional Star Wars buttons. I made some square wells out of Lego and then filled those with hot glue. Popped them out, and there you go, Star Wars buttons. down in the Rebel base. Been working on the garage this week, and of course this had to be done. Check out those vectors. That's what I call a build, and I can't wait to try it out. So I'm going to give my intergalactic smuggler friend Brian from the Smuggler's Room a call, because I've got a problem. I've got a build due next week, and I've run out of Greebles. Maybe he can help.
Whoa, man, you ran out of Greeblies? Just go with my go-to. Juice lids. They're my favorite.
Can't find these juice lids anywhere online. I wonder if Brian's got that right. Let's give him another call.
What do you mean they were sold out? How could they be sold out?
Brian, you do know I can see you.
James, where's all the toothpaste gone?
That's a wrap. If you enjoyed this build, there's loads more where this comes from, so please tune in next time where we create something from a galaxy far, far away. Oscar.